So can we go the other way? In this example, can we write in summation notation 1 plus 1 over root 2 plus 1 over root 3 plus 1 half plus dot, 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 plus whatever the generic a sub n is. So the first trick, if you remember summation notation, it looks like this. The sum from I equals 1 to, could be n, of a sub I, right? This subscript, by the way, is always going to match the index. Whatever the index is, those symbolically are going to match when you write it in summation notation. So I is the input, in other words. Okay, so basically the whole trick to coming up with the summation notation version is coming up with the ith term formula, which we did the nth term formula earlier, right? Same kind of thing. Once you come up with the ith term formula, so the formula so that when you plug in 3, you get 1 over root 3, that you get the correct number, then it's just a matter of notation, putting the sigma symbol in there and the other stuff. So we need a formula. All right. Anybody want to try and come up with that? I'll go out on the limb and say a sub I is going to have a 1 in the numerator. Is that a big surprise? No, I didn't do much to help you out with that one, right? You can see ones in, I mean, if you think of this as 1 over 1, you can think of, you can see the ones in the numerators, right? So I didn't help you that much. What do you think is going to be in the denominator? Yeah, but what about that first one? It doesn't seem to match up with that first one. Oh, the square root of 1 is 1. Yeah, it works. Yeah. So does that make sense? Okay. Now, in this notation, I used a sub n. So what would the actual nth term be? Just to test you. This doesn't have anything to do with the answer. It would be, well, what I used the notation a sub n to represent a particular term in the sum. So what would you do to get that? It would be 1 over the square root of n. But I couldn't put that in there for you because then you could go right from that formula to this formula really easily. Yeah. Okay, so the actual thing we fill in is this guy, and really all we need is to fill in the a sub I, and we're done. So it'd be the sum from I equals 1 to n of 1 over the square root of I. Does everybody see why I couldn't start at n down here? Because I ended at n here, so I didn't want to use the letter twice. Okay, so that's our answer. Does that seem reasonable? Well, I'll tell you what answer would be just as right. If you had used k here, then you would have said the sum from from k equals 1 to n of 1 over square root k. No, so there is some different answers that could be totally correct. Now in WebAssign, they're going to say use I or whatever letter, or k or whatever.